All right, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Vays, coming to you live from the desert near Dubai with my good friends, Moon Carl and
Davinci J15.
oh, messed up something. How you guys doing?
I'm doing fantastically well. Dubai is great. The desert is great. It's hot, but it's nice.
I'm in the pipe, 5x5 is normal, man. I'm loving it, Dubai, and I don't think I'll ever go back to Chile. I can't imagine myself doing that, but maybe I will. Who knows?
Yeah, I really can't imagine you going back to Chile either, based on all the videos and pictures I see of you guys hanging out and having a great time. So, Carl from the moon, when do you think Bitcoin is actually going to the moon?
I think first we have to define the moon, and if we let's say um, like $1 million, if that's the moon, then I think it's going to happen within the 5 years. But if we take a look at like 100K, 200K, 300K, which is a more likely target in this bull cycle, then I'm sure this is going to happen before the end of Q1 next year. Previously, I've said before the end of this year, and I still think it's very, very possible, very, very likely. But if it doesn't happen before the end of this year, I think we could just have to wait 2, 3 more months, and then we will see. I think that this bull market is not over. I think we're still in the bull market on the weekly time frame. However, on the daily, we are actually in the bear trend. We're in a bear market on the daily, in my opinion. But yeah, the weekly time frame is of course more important than the daily, just as the daily is more important than the 4 hourly. So I'm very bullish on Bitcoin still. I think that what we're seeing right now is a great opportunity to buy Bitcoin for cheap, and that's what I'm doing. And I think that everyone else out there who missed the boat, right now is the time to buy. But the funny thing is that many people that were screaming that they wanted lower prices when Bitcoin was at 60K, they are right now too afraid to buy, and they're waiting for 20K or whatever.
Exactly.
And in this case, honestly, I don't think you deserve to own Bitcoin. You should research Bitcoin, learn what it is, and then you will realize that any price is a good price to buy Bitcoin. But when it goes down, you can increase your buying power or your buying. But I think that it's very important to know what you're buying, because in that case, you won't panic sell and you will buy every dip.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Davinci, we're about to get your thoughts in a second. I want to just do a few shout outs. I see Mary Fox Crypto in the live chat.
Hey, Mary Fox.
Hey, Mary Fox, it was
Hey.
awesome. You were hanging out in Dubai as well. Davinci, you got to meet her as well.
Yes, I did.
And
Hi,
people
Mary
in the live
Fox.
chat are already asking for your next video. And as you said, you will do one after your next exam. And but yeah, thanks for joining us out in Dubai. Davinci, what do you think of the overall picture of Bitcoin? And after that, we're gonna go and take a look at the charts, guys.
Okay, well, last time I looked at the weekly, I was like this. Oh my goodness, it's a disaster. And so I'm not sure. Nobody heard you guys.
They heard you. They heard through your mic. I forgot
Okay.
to turn the second
Okay.
microphone on, but that one probably picked everybody up just fine.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So yeah,
Now it should be better. Though.
Okay,
Now we
go.
got both mics working.
Yeah, I can see it now on there.
Yeah. That's how I noticed it too.
Okay, cool. Well, anyways, I think that the weekly just looks like a complete mess. And although we got to see, I got to take a look at it again and see how it closes. So today's Sunday, right? So yeah,
Yes.
we got to see what the close looks like on this Sunday to really say, okay, how far are we gonna go for sure on this thing down? And I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be pretty. I don't know what the price is right now, but I'm pretty sure it's like closer to the 30,000 than it is the 40,000, and that's not good. Not good at all.
I think we're just above 35 right now, but it was headed that way earlier last night. People are saying Davinci is too bearish. No, Davinci is pretty damn bullish. You should hear his end of year target.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My end of year target is 1.2 million. So I am damn bullish. I'm super bullish. I'm like, I got bullishness on my cape on my back, right?
I can
B
summarize.
on my belly right here.
Yeah, I can summarize your prediction. He thinks 17,000 and then $1 million.
Exactly.
All in the next 9 months.
Straight up. But
In the next 9 months.
There will be a crazy event coming in September when we'll see corporations like pop off like popcorn buying into Bitcoin because they have really no choice. When they compare themselves to holding gold and what they'll hold, if they try to get into gold, and they'll have to go through a custodian, and they'll, if they do any research, they'll realize that, wait a second, all these custodians don't have the gold,
Yeah.
and then they have to go to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's take a look at the charts, and then we can give our closing thoughts. I'm gonna go straight to here. Well, I was trying to get Mary Fox to join us on a YouTube channel the other day, but was not able to do so. But hey, might as well try to promote. Here she is, and here's her YouTube channel. But let's go to the charts. I'm gonna take a peek at Taproot. Oh, wow. So the 2-week period ended. We started a new period, and we are gonna get Taproot, guys. That is absolutely awesome. Whoa, we cleared the mempool. We are down to 11 blocks in the mempool. We are literally clearing 1 Satoshi per byte transactions this holiday weekend in the US. That is really, really neat. I've been waiting for this. So this is how many transactions have been stuck in the mempool, and there have been transactions in the mempool for the last 6 months. Someone sends a Bitcoin transaction and it has not cleared yet. So the last time the mempool cleared was basically back here in December of last year. So finally, we're 11 blocks away from clearing every single transaction that's been stuck in the Bitcoin network for the last 6 months. And that would be really, really cool. All right, so I can't wait to actually see that happen. We start on my computer, so the chart will need to reload. Okay, here's the weekly chart. We did bounce back from the drop just the other day. We're sitting just above 35,000. The week is coming to an end this week. This is not a good looking bullish candle. It's not. We're still in a bearish posture, and lower prices are certainly possible. I am not rushing into Bitcoin from the weekly charting perspective. Those of you that are charting with the daily chart, this is actually a horrible looking chart pattern on the daily. Gonna glance at the funding rate. The funding rate is completely neutral. The RSI is leaning bearish. The MACD is slightly leaning, the RSI is leaning bullish. I misspoke. We are rising on the other side. That's bullish. The MACD, if we have one more good day, we'll cross over, and that would be bullish. The CMF is still bearish, but the chart pattern, this is borderline looking disastrous. We are still in the middle of bearish counts on the MRI, but more importantly, last night was a new swing closing low. It wasn't a it wasn't a swing low, but it was a closing low. And this is a very bad chart pattern that is either making a symmetric triangle or a descending triangle, based on how you draw it. But in either case, the chart pattern is pointing to one more swing down. 2 days from now, we're going to have a depth cross between the 50 period and the 128-day period, which is also a bearish sign. So if I had to lean one way or another, I would rather lean bearish right now and wait until the price of Bitcoin closes above the 200-day moving average at 41,000 before rushing into bullish trades. One exception, if we drop into the mid-20s, then of course you have to buy that dip. Davinci, any thoughts?
I'm just wondering, what would an AB equals CD do from here to there, down to, and then just.
So that would be an Elliott. That would be an Elliott wave structure.
Where would that end up if we were to do an AB equals C? So this line from there to there, and then move it, cloning it.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. So you want to use this as the high?
Yeah, that's a high.
And you want to use the wick as the low, or
wick
the
as the low?
Wick as the low.
It was traded down there.
Gotcha. All right. So that would be 1. This would be 2.
No, and I want to clone that one there.
Right.
Clone that.
And then you want to go down one more.
And then move it over.
Yep. And then you want to go down from here.
Yeah. Put it on.
Yeah, but I can't really clone it, so I can like almost clone it. So I can do it by percentage, or I can do it by that. Seems about even. That looks symmetric to you?
No,
maybe a smidge lower.
You sure you can't clone that and move it over?
No, because it's in percentage terms.
Okay.
So if I do this and I literally like clone it, and then I drop it down, see how it expands? Because it's because I'm in log scale.
That's correct then.
because I'm in log scale.
What's the price? What's the price level?
It should be by price, right? So what I would do is I would go from here.
Okay.
I would grab the price target.
So that's
So that would be.
the price.
I don't know why it's.
4 to 30, so 15,000.
So I want to do it from here to here. So that is a 50% drop for $30,000.
Yeah,
Like
so
Bitcoin can't drop $30,000, right? That's the problem. So I can do another 50% drop from there. So a 50% drop would take us to only here. So one more 50% drop takes us to 20,000 flat.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
So that is my low level target. I do not see the price of Bitcoin closing the day below 20,000.
Nope.
I envision 20,000 is very possible because that's the prior swing high. Anything can happen on an intraday wick. We can wick down to 16, 17 maybe. Anything can happen. I don't think it will go that low. I think the price of Bitcoin will stay above 20,000, but that is my ultimate low target. But I will be buying this dip before it gets down to 20. Like anything 25 and under is good enough for me. Carl?
I also think that, I mean, I'm looking at the $30,000 level. If we break 30K with a decisive break, with a daily close below and some follow through, then I think we're very likely to head down below 20K, down to $18,000, $17,000. So if we break 30K, then I'm going to actually continue to lean bearish. On the daily, I am already bearish because of the fact that we're in a bear trend, quite obviously. But on the weekly, like we spoke about before, we're still bullish. So I think 30,000, that's my big level to watch. And but yeah, we can't go lower. Many people, they think that we can't go lower. Some people say that we will never go down below 20K again. Actually, when we were at 60,000, some people said we will never go below 40,000 again. And I told people that it's very naive to say things like that, because when Bitcoin goes up very fast, it's very, very natural and healthy to get corrections. And I actually told people that I think that we're easily, very, very likely going to get a 50 to 60% correction before we reach $100,000. And now that happened exactly as I predicted. And from now on, we could go lower, but I don't think that we necessarily have to. I think that we shook out a lot of the weak hands, and I'm happy about that because that's necessary for us to get the next leg up.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what I was saying as well. At 50, somewhere between 40 and 60% correction before hitting 100K, and then having that correction only last a few months. We're already in the second month of that correction. There's still a possibility of one more full month. Like we could still be correcting all of June, and then the bull market should resume in July. And July or June, I'm expecting the resurrection of the bull market. The hourly chart had an MRI top, so we should be consolidating here for a few more hours. And then we'll see which direction it'll go. I do like this consolidation on the hourly chart. The hourly chart is making me bullish. The 4-hour chart is sitting at resistance. So while the 1-hour chart is bullish, the 4-hour chart is slightly leaning bullish based on MRI, but based on chart patterns, it's stuck at resistance. So you do have to wait and see which way that goes. 3-day weekend in the US, so no more GBTC trading for a little while. I like that the premium's finally rising, and that is my new line of entering the breakout trade in Bitcoin in GBTC above 33.50. Davinci, you're a big gold guy, or at least you used to be. Yes. Oh, Bitcoin dominance is back, moving up. That's great. Give us some of your thoughts on gold as I pull up the gold chart.
Well, I think that gold is not going away, and it's not, even though it's very analog now when you compare it to what we have with Bitcoin. But when it comes to traditional markets and traditional finance, the majority of the wealth is within people who believe in the traditional system of gold and hard money. And core companies, countries and central banks, they have a lot of gold, and there are also certain funds, hedge funds and so forth have purchased a lot of gold. So this is not going away. Is gold going to get to, like, for example, the case for $10,000 gold? It should. However, it's going to take the realization that, wait a second here, a lot of these people who believe they own gold don't own the gold, and then they do something about that. If they don't, the gold price is going to be very well managed by the central authorities. Paul Volcker said back in the 80s,
80s, 70s, yeah.
yeah, that his job would have been easier if they had managed gold, and they began to do so in spades during the 80s and all the way into the 90s. Central banks started selling gold with their agreements back in 1999, and they've only recently stopped doing that. I think they stopped in 2010 or something like that, and they started reversing that policy of the buying gold, but it's still well managed, right, with the leasing agreements and so forth. So, for example, central banks, even though they are buying gold, they are leasing it to bullion banks, and because the gold stays on their books, right, even though it's not theirs,
right,
it doesn't matter, right? So they still own it. Like just like a lease, when you lease a car, right?
Yeah,
when you lease a car,
you're
the
absolutely
car
right.
belongs to the car company.
You're absolutely right. And from a chart perspective, we had an MRI top last week, so this was going to be a no trade week for me, or no opinion week for me. It has been a bullish week. We'll see how next week goes. If next week we start trading above current week, I become a huge bull on the price of gold as well. The daily chart had its own MRI top last week, and we closed out as a green star candle. So once again, next week, if we start trading higher than this consolidation, I become a bull on both the daily and the weekly gold chart. And it's interesting how gold's continuing to rise while Bitcoin is dropping. Usually they're pretty correlated. I don't know, Carl, do you pay attention to the price of gold much or not really?
I did back in the days, because before I went into Bitcoin, I was also a gold person. I was buying gold, silver, mostly silver, and I was paying attention to that chart all the time. But ever since I found out about Bitcoin, I was bored with gold. It was not fun anymore. So no, I didn't pay attention to the gold chart at all, actually, for a very long time. And it's just
usually they're pretty correlated.
Yes, they are. I sold,
but not recently.
I've sold all my gold back in November. Remember, everything. Yeah, everything's gone except for a few, keepsake pieces here and there. But it's pretty much all gone. All the bullion is gone. So
nice. Now is probably a good time, right? Because once I get back to the States, I mean, the gold has been in a bull market since March. Meanwhile, Bitcoin on a daily scale has been in a bit of a bear market since March. So that ratio, maybe I should pull up that ratio. Actually, I don't have a chart of the ratio, but I can quickly make a chart.
I sold mine back in November, all of it in November, but I actually didn't sell it for Bitcoin. I sold it for Ethereum.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you? Probably pretty well. Huh?
Extremely well.
Nice.
Right, so we have BTC USD index,
Nice.
and we divide that by the price of gold. I should probably do a cash gold. Yep. And we can take a look and see what that ratio would look like. And yeah, the ratio has really dropped nicely. This is the daily chart. We'll go to the weekly chart, and that's a very nice ratio. So if there was ever a time,
from the top, then.
So
bigger than the USD.
Yeah, it's a 50%. Yeah, it's 55% correction.
So then it's actually pretty much the same as.
It's pretty much the same as USD because gold is not volatile.
Yeah.
But still, you get an extra 5 extra percentage points on your conversion from gold into Bitcoin. And this actually pretty much hit the peak of the last time. So this was the December 2017, right? So you can see how that came so close to hitting that peak.
Very close.
This is the 20,000. So if you did not do the conversion at Bitcoin 20,000, that's your next chance. So that's really, really interesting. So I should probably pay closer attention to that chart. It popped right on the MRI 3, which is in line with the monthly MRI. So here's the monthly look of the top in the gold to Bitcoin ratio, and you can see how that topped right on the MRI monthly chart. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So the MRI did a great job on this spread between the two hard assets. Really, really cool. And finally, the S&P 500. I know the markets are closed, so the S&P, I'm in a very similar boat. Oh, oil, I'm bullish on. Let's skip that. And the S&P, same thing. I am pretty much bullish. I just need, I don't like trading after a holiday. So on Tuesday, if the S&P is rising, I'm pretty much a bull of the S&P. All right, guys, if you are interested in trading, I have a free tutorial on my website at tonebase.com, learn trading. Also, if you're looking for something a little more advanced, there are on-demand videos on both technical analysis and risk management. And finally, we have the MRI indicator, which you could also purchase for a one-time fee. We already promoted Mary Fox Crypto, so Moon Carl, how about your channel?
Bye-bye.
There is the moon. All right.
There we go.
So Carl is crushing it with
Wow.
450,000 subscribers.
Absolutely destroying it.
So I am joined by Carl.
And I have the most popular and most amazing Bybit tutorial on the planet.
Mhm.
So you guys can check that out. And also Davinci,
J15.
J15. And there you are. All right, there's Davinci's channel. Well, crushing me as well with 230,000 subs. But your channel's been around for over a decade.
Yes, it has.
So you've been doing videos before. You even heard about Bitcoin. And the moment you heard about Bitcoin back in 2011.
People should watch that video actually with me and Davinci in the car. Go down this one, Bitcoin to $10 million. It's a great video.
Yeah, pretty popular video. There you are, 44,000 views. Though this one with Chris, Crypto. All right, guys. And before I head off, I just want to walk around the room again.
You should subscribe to Davinci J15.
I know.
I should subscribe. I don't subscribe to anyone.
There you go.
There you go.
I should be subscribed to you, right?
Yes. The moon. Nice.
About time you subscribe to me.
That's good.
Yeah, but I've only known him for a few years. Shows you guys how much I pay attention. And walk around. Hey, so we're here checking out a venue for a future financial summit. So this is the conference room, and we will be hosting the event in this conference room of this gorgeous hotel in the desert. So if you simply Google, oh yeah, wait, I'm not connected to the mic. No, I am. So if you simply Google the words financial summit, you will find this conference. It will open for registration this week once I get back to the US, and I will be heading to Miami, where I will be speaking at a conference called Shitcoin 2021. You can find that as shitcoin2021.com. Oh, is the camera going to move this way, or is it going to stay focused on the middle of nowhere? There we go. And there it goes.
So much for fancy equipment.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Hello.
We're back. All right. All right, guys.
Let me make a story before we end this, okay?
All right.
Guys, look at this. I'm live right now on YouTube with Tone Vays and Davinci J15. We're talking about Bitcoin.
Oh, guys.
Very cool. Go in and check it.
Look at this. I'm live right now on YouTube with Tone Vays and Davinci.
Are we still live?
Financial Summit. We are still live, and I'm doing one last thing. You just Google the words Financial Summit. You get the Financial Summit. The registration form will be here next week for those interested, but it will not be a cheap event. It's for 6 nights at a beautiful resort, and it's for traders and money managers. All
I
right,
will
guys.
be there. Davinci will be there.
These guys will be here.
Yeah, and if you want to learn the little old lady strategy, I'm going to be teaching it at this financial summit. So come on down.
Come on down.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.